ki. Chantara Shiva Bhagavatam ki. Gauda Premanande. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 21, Conversation between Manu and Kardama, text 39? Yes. Okay. Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The holy lake Bindu-sarovara, flooded by the waters of the river Sarasvati, was resorted to by hosts of eminent sages. Its holy water was not only auspicious, but as sweet as nectar. It was called Bindu-sarovara because drops of tears had fallen there from the eyes of the Lord, who was overwhelmed by extreme compassion for the sage who had sought his protection. Purport. Kardama underwent austerities to gain the causeless mercy of the Lord, and when the Lord arrived there, he was so compassionate that in pleasure he shed tears, which became Bindu-sarovara. Bindu-sarovara, therefore, is worshipped by great sages and learned scholars because, according to the philosophy of the Absolute Truth, the Lord and the tears from his eyes are non-different. Just as drops of perspiration which fell from the toe of the Lord became the sacred Ganges, so teardrops from the transcendental eyes of the Lord became Bindu-sarovara. Both are transcendental entities and are worshipped by great sages and scholars. The water of Bindu-sarovara is described here as sivämrta jala. Shiva means curing. Anyone who drinks the water of Bindu-sarovara is cured of all material diseases. Similarly, anyone who takes his bath in the Ganges also is relieved of all such material diseases. All material diseases. These claims are accepted by great scholars and authorities and are still being acted upon even in this fallen age of Kali. Omagya-dhamidannasya jnanana shalakaya Chakshulitam yena tasmei Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam yena bhutale Swayamrupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakapatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasiri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the Lord is compassionate. He's a person. He has feelings. So he feels the pain of the living entity. He feels the struggles we go through, which is very endearing. Because usually people think of God as like a impersonal energy, all pervading. Some people see God as this king on the throne, and he's just sitting there, and he doesn't get involved in our lives. We don't really have a connection. You know, if we need something, we'll go to him, and that's as far as it goes. Maybe business only. Or if you're in trouble, then you call out to God. But when things are okay, there's no need for God in your life. But God is fully involved in our lives. He's there in the heart as the super soul. He's there as the witness and the permitter, sitting in everyone's heart, fulfilling all your desires and witnessing all your activities. And the most amazing thing, even though he's witnessed everything we've done, all the thoughts we've had, the bad ones even. He still wants to be in love with you. He wants a loving relationship with you. So usually we don't reveal all of our stuff to people, friends, even our close, intimate spouses or girlfriends and boyfriends. We don't reveal everything of what we've done or our past that maybe we're embarrassed about. The skeletons in the closet. But Krishna knows it all, even from past lives. And still he wants you with him in an intimate relationship. So we see here Kardama Muni, being a very pure soul, underwent austerities. Why? Which is quite interesting because he's a very realized sage. He was, practicing as a brahmachari. And it can happen in a temple. And brahmacharis are there in temples. Well, they used to be. There's hardly any brahmacharis in temples these days. Maybe in India. If you go to India, it's very easy to see 100 brahmacharis in the ashram. But in the outside of India, it's very rare to find. Like a big brahmachari ashram would be like 15 brahmacharis. Wow. Imagine 15 brahmacharis sitting here. It'd be like, wow, Feel so enlivened. Nowadays, it's not happening so much. Why? I don't know. It's just maybe just a phase we're going through, or that's another subject. So Kardama Muni was a very serious brahmachari. But he had some desires, which can happen. Brahmachari is allowed to have some material desires. And he desired a wife. He wanted to get married. He was embarrassed about it, but he was honest about it. So he didn't try to figure it out on his own. He went straight to the Lord and performed austerities. And in his meditation, Prishnigarbha Vishnu appeared. The Lord appeared. He was so transcendental. And he understood, yes, I understand your true desire. So I will send you a princess, pretty much. And later on in this chapter, Swayambhu Manu will travel around trying to find a proper suitor for his daughter Devahuti. She was so beautiful, actually. She was so beautiful that they had big palaces that time. We think like this is from like 1 million years ago. We think like they all lived in caves and the scientists speculate in so many ways that we were so degraded. No, actually we're degrading now. And back then they were very advanced. And then they had huge palaces like skyscrapers. And it said as Devahuti was playing on the roof with a ball, there's always like a beautiful woman with a ball. And in that playing, like you can see the shape of her beauty. And a Gandharva was flying over the top on his celestial aeroplane. And upon seeing the beauty of Devahuti, when she was playing on the roof of her palace, very high, must have been, he fell off the plane, stunned by her beauty. She was that beautiful. And it's quite interesting because when someone's looking for a suitor for their daughter, it's usually like, okay, he's got to have a job, he's got to be, he's got to look good, and he has to be like have some social status. But no, they were looking for someone of the same character, like saintly character. So Kardama Muni, he's living in a cottage in the forest, in his ashram. But these sages, it's not like they were just rotting in some cottage. They had like beautiful gardens, nice surroundings, which were quite conducive for meditation. So it still was nice, kind of like your eco-village retreat or something like that you want to go to. Still very nice, but still considering that she was a princess accustomed to living in a palace, like how could it be this? Well, how could she live in such conditions? But no, Swayambhu Manu understood that the best thing for her daughter was a person with the greatest character. That is the purpose of education. That is what brahmachari life is for, is to develop perfect character. That's what education is for. Nowadays, education is for not developing character at all, but pretty much sudras. People who can just work in an office or work a job, 9 to 5, don't think so much, chase after sense gratification, and programmed in such a way. The boys are taught to not control their senses, but to give in to their senses, and just pretty much become animals. And the girls are taught not to become mothers, not to become chaste women, but to become killers of children in the form of abortion, and to become unchaste like prostitutes. This is what modern education has provided. You may not believe me, but every year I go to Australia, and there's a thing called schoolies. So schoolies is like a big celebration in one surfing town called Surfers Paradise. We devotees call it Sufferers Parasites. So there's like 30,000 high school kids that finish their metric, and they're free. And they all come to the surfing town. They have some stages for them, but pretty much they're out just to become totally animalistic, give in to their senses, pretty much like end up taking a whole bunch of alcohol, drugs, and engage in illicit sex. Many girls get raped, many kids get alcohol poisoning, they have to pump their stomach out. Some kids overdose, some kids even, there's many hotels there, they fall off the balcony. Yeah. Many fights, of course, in the night, young boys running around. They get frustrated, they didn't pick up the girl, so fights. So, why did we go there? We go there for doing Harinam for 4 hours straight every night. We do it for like 8 nights straight. And the reason why we do that is that for some reason, at that point in their life, they're open to any enjoyment. They're not in any system. They're not in high school, they're not in university, they're not at a job. They're just freedom. So they're just running, where's the enjoyment? So they run from this stage to this nightclub, to this thing, to another thing. And they're chanting Hare Krishna and dancing. And they come running. They see there's a party going on. They don't know what it is, but they see it's a party. So they come, they join in the kirtan. And usually when we do Harinam around the world, they would join in for like 2 to 5 minutes, chant with you, dance, and then, okay, that was fun, go to the next thing. But these kids just stay there. And usually like you would play like a slow beat, and then when there's like action, you'll speed it up, and then you go back to a slow beat. But these kids wouldn't go away. And they want energy, they're like hyped up, so you have to keep it going at high speed. So it's like this for like 4 hours, like that. And you have to yell, and like we have like a team there, and we have like a few singers, maybe 5 to 6 singers, and then every night someone loses their voice. And then by the end of the 7 days, 8 days, like no one has a voice. And we're just pushing it by the end. And these kids, they inspire you because they're so into it. They want to chant. Like sometimes we make them chant and go like, Hare Krishna, like this. And they repeat. And they say, yeah, we want to chant, And they go, okay, And we have a big sign. They want to hold the sign also. And sometimes they even worship the sign. They start bowing down to the sign like this, Those were we caught some videos there. So there was a guy, so he bought some chips, some like French fries. And then he goes up to the Maha Mantra sign, goes like this. And then he goes, It's amazing. It's like deity worship because the Maha Mantra is Krishna, And it's really amazing, even though they were like in the most fallen situation, there was no hope for them due to this modern education making them complete animals. Still, they got the mercy of the Lord in the form of the holy name, in the form of devotee association. And even last year, there was one boy we ran into, and he followed us to the end where we're staying. And then he goes, actually, I was gonna commit suicide. Sure. So a lot of that happens to as well, because they're so frustrated. And so he was honest. He said, I was going to commit suicide, but then I saw you guys and I danced with you for like 2-3 hours, and I understand now that this thing is the only thing that has meaning in my life. And usually we meet someone like that, you know, okay, whatever, and then they get back into Maya. But he came every night dancing with us, and he ended up, we have a center in the same town, so he ended up going to that center. Now he's chanting 7 rounds. He's working in the devotee restaurant, and he's reading Prabhupada's books. So yeah, so he's fired up. He's very nice devotee. So a nice success story. But majority of the kids, because of the impression, because they never seen Hare Krishna, so this is the first experience. Yeah. So then after that, anytime they meet a devotee, it would be positive. Oh. You know, take a book or get into it further. So this is the mercy of the Lord, that even though one is most fallen, the Lord will somehow give his compassion. So we see Kardama Muni obviously went through a better education system and he's very saintly. And the Lord actually feels when we connect to him. He's like, we've been in this material world for so long, separate from him, and we do the littlest service. He makes a big deal. You know, just like Putana. Putana, she's a witch. She's accustomed to drinking the blood of babies. So you think, how does this person have any hope? But ordered by Kamsa to kill him, she came in disguise even, which is also deceitful. And then she put poison on her breast, and she acted like complete mother to Krishna. Krishna understood what was going on, but Krishna only took the good. Oh, she's coming like mother. Oh, she's giving him breast milk. He didn't consider the poison. He didn't consider like this intent to try and kill him. Just like, okay, she's acting like mother. She's gonna come to me like a mother, and you know, okay, there's a little contamination. Let me just take care of that. So he grabbed onto her breast and sucked her life air out. And she became completely purified. It said that when the cowherd men came, they saw this huge 12-mile form there, and the story of that Krishna nearly died. So they, just like what you do when you have a snake, what you do is that in the village, they'll kill the snake, but they'll chop into pieces and burn it. Because what can happen is that another snake can come, that may be a friend of the snake, and they'll see the image of the person that killed the snake. And that snake will come after for revenge. So they chop the snake into pieces and they'll burn it up to make sure that no other snake comes for revenge. So they did the same thing to Putana. And on that burning, this like beautiful smell came, like a guru from her body. She was purified. And Putana, in her past life, was the sister of Bali Maharaj. We had the appearance of Vamanadev recently. So when she saw Vamanadev for the first time, everyone saw Vamanadev, very beautiful brahmachari, very adorable. So she developed like this motherly affection, like, oh, I like to breastfeed this beautiful boy. But then when Vamanadev took everything from her brother Bali Maharaj, then she was like upset and wanted to kill him. So then next life is Putana, so they reciprocated with both. But Putana, when she got killed by Krishna, she didn't go to hell, she actually went to the spiritual world and attained the position of a nurse, which is amazing. Actually, it's expressed by Uddhava and Shukadev Goswami. How is this possible? What kind of person is Krishna? So we tend to project a personality onto God. We think that God is jealous of our life separate from him, and that's why he causes all this suffering. As if like imagine someone, maybe you have like a brother or sister. You can imagine a position of a parent. You do everything for this person. Like, your whole life is dedicated, like, I'll do everything for their happiness. And not only do they turn their back on you, it could be like, someone who's in a relationship, maybe a spouse or girlfriend, boyfriend. You do everything for them. And then they go and cheat on you like this. Do everything, have a whole life there. You sort of wish like, I wish it doesn't work. I wish I can show how my life is better than theirs. Like, you get a bit envious. Right? And then maybe it doesn't work and they come back, I'm sorry, you actually treat me properly. So you want to say, yeah, I told you, sure. You want to make them suffer a bit for it. Mm-hmm. So we had this intimate relationship with Krishna. And then we go cheat on him with Maya. And whole life, many lifetimes, everything. And then we realize it doesn't work. And then a little bit we go, I'm sorry, can I come back? Yeah, sure. Of course. So it's more like this loving mother mentality, because Krishna is more anxious for us to go back to God than we are ourselves. Just like a mother, maybe like the kid runs away, lives on the streets, joins a gang, does so much things, even swore at the mom and maybe hit the mother, and there's nothing you can do. You can't keep the son around. And then the kid figures out, okay, maybe it's the wrong thing to do. So he decides to call home. He's a bit embarrassed about it, but he'll do it. He calls home. The mother picks up. She's like, hello? And she can feel it. It's her son, even though he doesn't say anything. Is that you, my son? Are you okay? Do you need any money? Do you need anything? You don't have to come home, but just tell me you're okay. And then he just hangs up. And how's the mother feel? She's like elated. Oh, he's thinking about me. Oh, he's still alive. He's like, maybe there's a chance. So Krishna is like, the love from Krishna is like 1,000,000 loving mothers. So the smallest thing we do for him, like chant Hare Krishna, hear the holy name, do some service for devotees, appreciation for devotees, wave at the devotees on Harina. Whoa, big thing. Let's get started in your spiritual life. Let's come back. He's not holding a grudge at all. But, a conditioned soul, a human kind of mentality is like, who are you anyway? I gave you everything, you went away for so long, you think I'm going to let you in that easily? So like this. But no, Krishna's like, really, let's go, all right. Let's come back to the spiritual. So here the Lord is appreciating so much out of compassion that he cries tears and he created this lake called Bindu-sarovara. Isn't that amazing? That the Lord can cry tears out of compassion, creates a lake, and then anyone who touches this lake is purified. It has nothing to do with this relationship between him and Kardama. But then you get purified. So there's a beautiful pastime in Vashana, there's Prem Sarovar. And this Prem Sarovar appeared when Radha and Krishna were together, sitting together, and then this bumblebee started coming to see the divine couple. And upon seeing that bumblebee, Radharani was a little bit disturbed, because it's kind of normal with bees around like this. But Radhamanga was there, and then he chased away the bee. And then he said, I chased away that Maru. And the name for Krishna is also Madhusudan, Maru. So then, even though Radharani is sitting right next to Krishna, just the thought of being separate, you've chased away Maru? No! Just the thought was enough for her to cry tears. Like this, it started streaming down. Ecstatic tears of separation. And then when Krishna saw this, that Radharani, just by thought of being separate from her, even though he's right next to her, so he also cries tears. And these tears combine together to create this lake called Prem Sarovar. Beautiful, huh? So you can go there, and you can take bath. And we spent a few times with Kardama Maharaj on Parikram there. And we did beautiful kirtans, and he had a nice guitar, and took bath there. Jagannath Sutta was doing flips into that Prem Sarovar. It's a very beautiful place. I remember another time I went there, and it was Diwali, which is in the middle of Kartik. And in Diwali, all the bridge buses, all the kunds everywhere, they light lamps, like hundreds of lamps, and it's surrounding the whole kund. Yeah, it's amazing. And it's just like 4 or 5 kids that do it. No one tells them, it's just like them. They have some oil, they have all these, clay lamps, and they just start lighting everywhere. It's really beautiful. So Diwali is like that. So we can see that the Lord extends His compassion beyond the call of duty, you could say. Here, even with the Ganges River, because it's washed the toe of the Lord. The Vamnadev, he transformed his huge form, and with 2 steps covered the universe, but cracked with his big toe, cracked the shells of the universe, which is huge. Because each layer is like 10 times than the next. There's like 5 different layers. 8 different layers. And he cracked the whole thing. The causal ocean comes through, washes his feet, and then it's like purifying the whole universe. All the demigods, they're catching it in buckets and like, let's pass the mercy on, and it goes down further. And even to hell, and in hell they don't know it's the Ganges River, but accidentally they get in there and get purified, So the Lord finds His way to deliver the devotee. Here it's called that. It's sivämrta jala. Shiva means auspicious. So amrita, the nectar. And it cures all material diseases. So that is even known to today. If anyone has any diseases, you take bath in the Ganges. Even drinking the Ganges water. Even on the surface, in Calcutta it passes through, there could be many stools and all these chemicals coming from the factories. But no, those who have faith, they bathe in the Ganges. And they are free from all material diseases. And I was in lockdown in Mayapur during the COVID, which is a good place to be trapped. And devotees, they had more faith in the Ganges than ever before, because everyone was worried about, getting affected. So you see so many devotees just bathing every day in the Ganges. And one will not be affected by disease, material or spiritual. So we have this benediction of connection to the Lord in so many ways. To enter the Lord's heart. The Lord's heart is very big. So as many can enter. Usually for our heart, there's only a few we can take on. But the Lord, His heart is so huge that He can take on all living entities. He's very accepting. And that's the nature of the pure devotee also. The sannyasi, he gives up family life for Vasudha Kutumba, that he takes the whole world as his family. So this is the nature of Krishna. And they are giving us the means to come back to a life of real love, which is to be with the Lord. And it's done through so many ways, through the Srimad Bhagavatam, through the holy name, through devotional service, through service to the devotees, through worshiping the deity. So many avenues are available for feeling the mercy of the Lord. Because this is our only chance to actually feel complete. So I'll stop here. If you have any comments or questions or reflections. This is Cape Town. I know you like discussion.
It's unfortunately not related to the verse. Is that all right?
Yeah, if it's a reflection or whatever.
If one is worshipping Nitai Gaurahari and has a Lord Nishina deity, how does one not create rasavas? And how does one incorporate one's worship of Lord Nishina within
There's no rasa bus because Lord Chaitanya will take the mood of Lord Shingadev. Is that pastime? I think he was like, he just took the mood of Lord Nishingadev. He's like, where's the demons? I killed them all, He was ready to run through the streets and kill all the atheists like this, No, my God. So sometimes he does take this mood. And he was born under the star of the lion. So he does have this lion-like mentality. He has the gait of a lion, shoulders big like this. So there is no rasa bus, actually. It's very conducive. We have Ugra Nrsimha in Mayapur, and Ugra Nrsimha appeared because of the attack of the dacoits. They threw bombs, they wanted to steal the deities like this. Even one sannyasi, I think it was Bhakti Raghava Maharaj, right? He had his leg blown off, trying to stop it all. So then,
I heard that he tried to protect.
Yeah, tried to protect the deities. Yes. Yeah. So then his leg was blown off. So Prabhupada said, yes, you need to arm yourself, protect yourself, and that was the idea of getting Ugra Nrsimha. So they went to South India to Stapati. Stapatis, they carve deities. They've come from generations of how to do it. And they asked, we want Ugra Nrsimha. They said, no, we don't do this. No. It's too dangerous. He's scary, Even the demigods couldn't approach Ugra Nrsimha when he appeared. What to speak of us ordinary Kali Yuga people. No. But then they said, but no, it'll be, where do you want it though? It will be in Mayapur. They said, oh, okay, then this is okay. Why is that? Because the deity will share the mood of the holy Dham. So Mayapur is known as Ayodhya, Adhoyadham, that it's the merciful place. So he will accept this mood of Lord Chaitanya, this merciful mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then that's why he's there. And Lord Chaitanya also worshipped Lord Nrsimhadev. No, he went to the Nrsimha temples. This Namaste and this in Maya, this comes from Lord Chaitanya. It's in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He would sing this. So that's why we sing it. We're actually just following Lord Chaitanya's footsteps. Prabhupada institutionalized it as the song to sing after every arati for the protection of the movement. So we worship, Bhakti Vigya Vinasa. So he's the protector of, he gets rid of those obstacles on the path of bhakti. So this is a mood of worshipping Lord Nrsimhadev. Yeah. So there's no rasa bus. It's fully in line.
Sorry, can I mention something else?
If it's to the same thing.
With the verse.
Yeah.
Verse. You mentioned the verse of, it's just a reflection of Utana. That famous verse comes from the 10th canto. When Mukunda took Lord Gadadhar to Pundarika Vidyalini, it was quite nice.
Yeah, yes. That's far enough.
There he said,
Okay.
So he said, I have a very nice devotee for you, Lord Gadadhar. And he took him to Pundarika Vidyalini, and Pundarika Vidyalini came in, and he's been held on a palanquin by his 4 very illustrious servants, and there's gold, and he's sitting on there, he has rings, and his hair is back. And Lord Gadadhar said in his mind, this is a material devotee. And then Mukunda recited that verse. And Pundarika Vidyalini threw everything, fell off his palanquin, and went into ecstasy. And Gadadhar Pandit took initiation from Pundarika Vidyalini. But Gadadhar is Srimati Radharani, and Pundarika Vidyalini is Vishnu Bhanu. So this is quite a nice pastime.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
Very nice.
Yeah, very sweet pastime. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, it's good. It's good. It's fine. Abhimanyu, you had a question?
Thank you for the class. I was reading something that reminded me of the compassion that I read yesterday. So when Travasamuni appears at the living quarters of the Pandavas, and then he brings all the disciples, and then Draupadi's already eaten. Well, it's arranged that they come after Draupadi already ate, so she can't feed them, and she's feeling quite distressed. So it says the exact words here are that Draupadi was thinking, because if Travasamuni gets upset, things can go quite wrong. He's a very powerful mystic, sage, and he's brought all these disciples. And she's worried about feeding everyone, so it says, so Draupadi was thinking of Lord Krishna in that dangerous position, and the all-pervading Lord could at once know the dangerous position of his devotee. So I also thought that shows so much compassion. Wherever he was, he immediately felt, oh, Draupadi needs something, and then he personally went there. And he got so many examples like that where he does that.
Yeah, even in our lives. You know, it's like everything doesn't work, and then you're like, okay, Krishna, I don't know what else to do, but I'll go to you. And then somehow just, the fire dies down all of a sudden. The stress is like just push away, and then okay, here's exactly what was needed to happen. Just like delivered. And there's no, the worst thing about it is that your ego can't claim that you were the doer. It was all Krishna, what could I say?
When I was younger, the temple moved away from Johannesburg, from Hillbrow to another place, and then we lost contact with devotees for like 10 years, and then I didn't chant in that time at all. But I was like 16, and this man was attacking me. And it was like at this point where it could go anywhere, and I just remembered the Maha Mantra. And then he just started to hold his chest and sweat and walked off. And I thought, wow, this Krishna who I hadn't talked to for years. And then he was just like immediately there without question, without like, oh, but you didn't, like you said, oh, you didn't talk to me for 10 years. Yeah, he's very kind. He's so kind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice compliments.
Yes. Very nice.
Very powerful.
Yes, very powerful realization. Okay, anyone else? Thank you so much. Gantarashram Bhagavatam Ki.
Jai.
Shubha Prabhupada.
Jai.